What's up guys, it's Riley, and this is my car story. I've had 5 cars in the past 2.5 years, and I had a Grand Cherokee, Mazda Speed Protege, Cobalt SS, a Miata, and a Jetta. Now 2.5 years ago when I got my license, I was passed down a Jeep, and there's not really a backstory to it, but right when I got that, I started working full time. And then after about 4 months, one of my friends told me about a Mazda Speed Protege, and at this point I didn't know anything about cars. I just wanted a fast, cool car. But then after we went and looked at it, it was up in New York about 2 hours away, and it seemed it was all good. But when we got home, when we went to get it inspected, it was in a different state when I got it. I found out it was rotted out. But I still drove it for about 2 weeks until I could find someone to sell it. And I bought it for $3,500 and I sold it for $2,000. So I took a pretty big loss. So I just started working more hours during the week. It was about 50 hours when I was a junior in high school, and I worked like 6 months like that and got about $5,000. And I started looking for a new car, and I found a 2005 Cobalt SS about 3 hours away down in Bristol, Pennsylvania by Philly. So we go down, and I still don't have very much knowledge of cars, but we go down, and we ended up buying it for $4,800. When I bought it, it had 110,000 miles, and it was completely stock. And I still have it to this day, and I put 15,000 miles on it. And the only other thing that's not stock, well, it's all stock, but an exhaust is on it, that's it. And then about a year later, I was looking for something new. I still kept the Cobalt through this. I wanted to get a Miata, and it was about January at this time, so I figured if I want one, I should get it now when the price is low, because it's winter and nobody wants theirs. So we found one in Harrisburg for $2,800, and it looks pretty mint in the picture. The paint was like brand new, it was scratch cut, no rust. But when I noticed when we were checking it out, it had a little bit of rust underneath the master cylinder, but I didn't think it was a big deal. So I test drive it, and it's all good, but I realized that the clutch is really soft. But I realized that people who had these cars said that the clutch was soft because it's a small car, small engine. So we paid the guy. We ended up driving it home, and about 20 minutes on the way home, when we got on the turnpike, I realized that when I put the clutch down, it goes right to the floor, and I can't put it into gears. So we pulled over, and I realized that the master cylinder had a leak in it. But keep in mind, we're on the side of the road in January in about 0-degree weather trying to fix it. So we found out that we just had to put more brake fluid in the master cylinder. So we take my friend's car, who drove me and my other friend down there, to a shop about 2 miles up the road, and got about 3 things of brake fluid. And we get back, and we have to bleed the clutch on the side of the highway at night in 0-degree weather. And that was no fun. But we eventually get it home. We lose the clutch about another hour down the road eventually. So we have to drive home without it, we figured. And we get home at around 11 o'clock at night. And then eventually 2 weeks later, I finally got the new master cylinder and decided to fix it. And I decided just not to keep it and just sell it for more and then just make a profit, and that's what I did. Because I couldn't afford 2 cars on my insurance, because I still have the Cobalt at this point. So I sold that for $3,000, so I broke even with it after the title transfer fee and stuff. But then, about 6 months later, I decided to buy a Jetta, and it turns out that this thing's a piece of shit, and I just take another $1,000 loss when I sold it. So yeah, that's my car story. Not really interesting as Thomas's, but stay tuned, we're gonna have 2 more on the channel. So, peace guys.